Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the New Watchers on the Wall. Incredibly excited to be speaking with you all today about Yellowjackets.
Yay! Finally, another show that we can agree on.
Yes, and she was like, "You need to watch this show.
Two
You
out of a
need to."
million.
I know, right? She was like, "You need to watch this show," and so I caught up on it. And Candace, how long you been watching the show since the beginning?
Since the beginning, since the very beginning. So now that you've watched the first two seasons and the first two episodes of season 3, and we're gonna talk about that. What do you think overall about the show? Because I'm really excited to get your opinion on this.
That's a good question. Let me shout out a couple of people. Evelina, thank you for checking in. Gothica, thank you for checking in. And this show has it's really grown on me, especially the what's the family that has the daughter and the husband that thought his wife was cheating.
Shauna.
That entire family, it's funny how they all have just gone down the dark side together as a fucking family. Like I've never seen no shit
into
like
the Addams family.
yes, like they didn't gone down the dark side. What do y'all think about that?
I
About them
feel
going?
bad for Jeff. I feel like Jeff is just on this wild ride with these dangerous women. You know,
It's crazy.
It's like, what? There's no
It's-
book club?
I know, right? You thought and she's like, you really thought I was going
at
to the book club? Then that daughter then shot somebody. I'm
Oh
like,
my
God damn.
it's like murder and mayhem. I love it. Female murder and mayhem. Female rage. I love it.
Yes. So guys, check this out. I got a question for you guys before we kind of delve into some of our questions, and I want to get you guys' perspective and opinion. I was, what is that show that came on Netflix that was kind of like a it was a rendition of the show where the plane crashed with the those people that were living?
Is it alive?
Yes. If you've seen the that movie Alive, where that plane crashed, almost a very similar situation where they were actually eating each other and stuff like that. And what was interesting about that movie was that they would have somebody who would cut up the bodies so that people wouldn't know if they were eating a relative and stuff like that. So my question to you guys is, if you were in a situation like this, do you think you can eat a person? Like, do you think you can eat another person's body? Leave a comment below so we can post it up. What do you guys think? Would you be able to do that if you were hungry, if you were starving? Would you be able to eat another person's body? Leave a comment below.
You have full
Yasi, what's up? What's up?
With all these planes falling out the sky, you have my full permission. Just know that you James have my full permission to eat whatever part. What I know your favorite parts, but you have.
Oh my God, you are crazy.
Okay, so here, and you brought this up when we were watching season 3. You said, I don't understand why these girls are so like traumatized about eating people. They're starving. I'm sure people would understand. Why are they trying to keep this a big secret? I'm sure people would understand.
Oh yeah,
if they did this. And I have the same question as well. But
and audience, what do y'all think about? And Evelina said, I vomit, but you got to do what you got to do. And Gothica said, yes, she could eat somebody. And this was my question, right? Because as somebody who was kind of new to the show, my question was, why is it that when they got back, they felt like they had to hide what they did? Because my thing was, if a plane crash and people are hungry and they got to eat, you have to do what you have to do. And would people really judge what they did? But as the show went on and you saw how people were hunting each other and weird things like that, I guess it makes it kind of difficult and different.
You don't have to tell them that part, what you guys, because, it's like I said. Do you remember what I said? I said, for some reason, I don't know if it's a woman thing, but we feel like we have to create these rituals around doing something like this. Oh, there's a sacrifice. And even with the whole hunting thing, I just feel like that started. There was no initial, like, we're going to hunt you. There was just like, we're going to draw cards, and whoever draws the queen card, that's who we're going to sacrifice. And you're going to feed everybody. And, even Natalie turned to her and it's like, you're going to look me in the eye when you do this. And it turns out like, Travis pushed her down out of the way or whatever, and she ran, and that's how the hunt began. It wasn't just like,
Mm.
oh, we're gonna give you time to run. The hunt began when she ran away. And of course,
Yes.
that's a natural thing you're going to do. You're going to run away. It's not like it's a different thing to be like, oh, you're dying on your, your deathbed and you're getting ready to pass, and then when you pass, you're going to eat you. They're going to the idea was we're going to kill you
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to eat you. So
Yes.
it's it makes things a lot different.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because initially it didn't start off with it going to be a chase. It was that running away that kind of led to it.
And
Then
also, I'm gonna say this. I feel like one of the reasons, a reason why they didn't share that, I think that there's something else that happened.
yeah, this coming. And what do y'all think about what Candace is saying in the comment section, that the fact that she ran initially, that is what started this thing where it will become a hunting situation? What do y'all think about that? Another question that we have as we're having this conversation: what has been your favorite moment so far this season? One or two moments that have really stood out, or something that has, continued to shock you in this season that they've given us these first two episodes? Leave a comment below.
Mm-hmm. So one of my things, and before we even get to the questions, one of my favorite things, I always have to have like a funny thing and then like a serious thing. So the funny thing was when Misty was in the bar and she was like, I like dicks on fire. And she was drunk. That was so funny to me. That was up there with the no book club line. That was hilarious to me. And then one of the serious things was, it wasn't really a moment. It was more like a reaction. Like, to me, the whole thing with Shauna and her kind of nonchalance with her daughter Callie and how she's acting it's very like, as a parent, I'm, of a kid who shot somebody, who saw these women chasing me in the woods, like literally trying to hunt me, like we're reenacting what we did in the wilderness. She's read the diaries. It's like, she's not okay. How do you not know that she's not okay? Jeff knows that she's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have any concern?
Their whole, that is a very interesting and unique. What do y'all think about that family dynamics? Leave a comment below. But that is the thing, one of the things that continues to just shock. It was kind of like with Silo. And as Solo started to progress, he continued more and more as it went on. He shocked me as a character. Their family unit continues to shock me. How her husband was, going to blackmail. Then his wife kills the guy, and then she enlists all of her friends, help me hide this body. So then they all come together and like, yeah, we're going to help you.
It's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna. It was just like a day at the beach for her.
Crazy.
Like, and that makes me more interested in Misty as they are in the wilderness. And Misty is my favorite character.
That Misty's the one with the
curly hair and the glasses.
Let me talk some shit about Misty real quick. And because I
love Misty.
One of the most interesting scenes to me so far was this season where she poisoned the reporter, right? Where she had kidnapped the reporter. And when she kidnapped the reporter and had her down there for all of that time, and then she finally was like, I'm going to let you go. Did that reporter not think this woman might try to do something to me when she took the cigarettes and she went to smoke it? Because it's like, do you really think that she's going to let you go after all of these things that happened? Because if she would say you can go, I'd have just ran out the house. I don't want nothing. I don't want my purse. You said what?
She mentioned the fentanyl. Putting it in the chocolate and sending it to her dad.
Because you already knew how she got down, because she drugged you. Like when she kidnapped you, she stabbed you with the thing and drugged you. So you know that she has that skill set.
Got that body in the downstairs. Yeah. But that's the thing I think about Misty, is that she's so quirky and cutesy that you forget that she is like a psychopath. And then I don't say that just because like, oh, she's probably an undiagnosed psychopath. Because I don't know if you noticed that one of the things that got to me was when she was looking at that mouse and she was just watching it drown. Just for you guys out there, I have a really strange, not obsession, but like a really high interest in like female psychopathy in children. I don't know why. but that is one of my interests, right? And so just watching Misty and watching how she interacts and how she loves to be needed and part of a group, and she still exhibits these like antisocial personality traits, and she's just fascinating to me.
Yeah. What did you think about what's the man let's get into some of your questions, because one of your questions was the what's the guy, the man that lost his leg in the show?
Oh, Ben, Coach Ben.
Yeah. So Coach Ben, you know, went off because he felt like the girls are kind of going off the deep end.
Right.
And we see that he's been kind of surviving and kind of hiding from the girls. But we saw him find that
pit
full of supplies,
right?
Kind of like a bug out bunker type situation. Who do you guys think put that there? And we're going to share our thoughts, but who do you guys think put that bunker there?
And also, is Natalie secretly helping
and
him
you're
survive?
right, she said the type you really have to watch, talking about Christy, very much so, because like I couldn't trust her if she was my friend, because she's so unfucking predictable.
Misty,
even if you're like my friend, I couldn't trust you. I couldn't sleep around you because you're just too unpredictable.
Right. Especially what she did with Christy. Like, she didn't kill her, but she is responsible for her death.
Yeah. So who do you think put the food down there?
I think the food was put down. I think the food was put down there by the guy who was in the cabin before.
Yeah.
That body that we saw up there. But the bigger question is why? Why is the food down there? And then also, is Natalie helping him survive? And initially I thought no, because remember,
when you say Natalie helping him survive, what you mean?
Like, is she sneaking him food, putting in like, you know what I'm saying, putting in snares down? But the thing is too, I thought about it, he's the one who taught them how to hunt, and do snares and stuff. So maybe she's not helping him, but maybe she knows where he is. Yeah. Because at the end of season 2, Ben says, hey, you're not like those other girls, you know, come, I have a cave that Javi was in, come with me, I'll help, you know. And she's like, no, I am just as bad. I'm the one, I watched him die in my place. Like, I'm, you know, so she knows he's alive, but maybe she's not helping him. I don't.
I think that she does know that he's alive. As it relates to that bunker, and leave a comment below, who do you think sat it there? I think it could be that guy. And one of the things that they often do, let's just say if you are a survivalist kind of person, which it seemed like whoever that body was there was, because he had lots of ammunition and stuff like that, you do have what's called like your bug out bunker or location where you have additional supplies that are not housed where you actually are. And you do that because, let's just say you have to evacuate your permanent home or residence. You want to be able to access some of your other things, or let's just say in a state of emergency, like for example, and hopefully I'll be able to share this with you guys. I did a documentary on Black gun ownership in the 21st century, and a big part of some of the people in that particular documentary that I did, they are survivalists. So several of them, they hunt, they do all of these kind of things. And one of them, well, two of them, they actually have like what they call bug out centers, where if things went bad, they have like land and stuff that is, you know, far outside of the city, where I'm sure they have firearms, they have animals and stuff on there. Like, it's a true bug out location. And I think that that's what that whole thing was, because you always want your bug out location to be in a different location from where you actually live. But the question would be, you know, why is that guy in that cabin all by himself? Who is he running from and stuff like that? Because that's really interesting. And then for his dead body to be up there in the attic, it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like a mystery on top of a mystery. And this brings me to one of my questions. What is the deal with this wilderness entity?
And we got to ask y'all, what do y'all think about that?
Okay, so in the wilderness,
leave a comment.
Is it truly supernatural, or is it everything happening as a result of like
the drugs and stuff that they're taking.
Psychological trauma breakdown, and also the magic mushrooms that they just keep taking.
Yeah.
There's some moments like Lottie's visions, Javi's survival, and the symbol significance. Does it hint at something otherworldly? So what do you guys think in the comments? I kind of feel like, and I want to get your take on this, I am of the mind that the wilderness is not actually a thing. There's no supernatural thing happening. I think these girls went through a traumatic incident, and they also had other mental health things going on before the incident, like Lottie and her schizophrenia, Thaisa and her sleepwalking, and it's some other things I can't really remember right now, but I think they are using the wilderness term, or saying it's the wilderness, to cover up the fact that this is really them. It's not the wilderness, it's them. It's putting it on the wilderness is giving them permission, I think, to do cruel things to each other. I think we're going to get ready to see, because I think it gets worse than what we saw in season 2. Yeah. Besides, like, letting Javi die.
And I like what you said. Gothic Chick said shared mental stress. I agree with that. I think that, going along with what you're saying, and Gothic Chick 4, I think there is shared mental stress. But I agree with you on that. I think that they want to, a lot of people, even like when you talk about like religion, and whether you're a religious person or you're a spiritual person, when people say the universe or whatever you put out to the universe, you will get. Or,
shared delusion.
You know, just like what you're saying, they want to remove the burden and the responsibility of being fully accountable for the acts that they're engaging in. So how do you do that? Oh, there's a supernatural presence and force here that is at times taking over or manipulating situations, forcing us to act in certain ways, and we're not really doing these things ourselves. And I think it's part of like a coping mechanism or coping strategy to kind of deal with the stress, but then also kind of minimize the accountability, because if you do hold yourself truly accountable for what's going on, it adds to the trauma, it adds to the stress.
Because it's not just, oh, we ate, Jackie and she was already dead. It's turned into, we're hunting people. We're pulling cards and choosing who we're going to kill, and we're hunting people. And then maybe some other crazy stuff that goes on.
Yep.
But, I really feel like it's like you said, they have this shared, because remember, a lot of them were looking at the things that were happening, like the bear and the birds and things, and looking at it as something that naturally just happens. It's just a coincidence, right? And then the further they get into their hunger, the colder it gets, the less resources they have, they fall into that it is the wilderness.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
As a cop out of why they can do some of the things that they're gonna do.
The thing is, and then Gothic Chick 4 said a coping mechanism, and we're with you on that. But the question is, and I'm posing this to the audience too, do you really have to do that necessarily with the fucked up situation that you're in? Because the thing is, like, I mean, I don't know if this is the thing. I know that I could probably eat somebody if I had to, right? Like in that movie where the plane crashed, Alive. Those people were already dead, and the hard thing that they had to deal with was that many of the people on the plane were their relatives. So they had a hard time eating their relatives. So that's why they chose one person who would go and eat the dead body. I mean, cut them and stuff, and bring the pieces of the meat. And you didn't know if you was eating your mother or your grandma. So it kind of helped it go by. The one thing that I do think about often as it relates to this show is, could I actually kill somebody to eat them? That's the thing that I constantly, when I watch the show, I wonder, could I do that? Because I probably know that I could eat, let's just say if somebody was already dead, from the plane crash or whatever, I know I could probably eat a person. But what I don't think I could do would be to choose someone and hunt them down and then eat them. Like, could you do that as an audience? Could you do that? I know that we all said that we could eat a dead body, but would you be able to, like, hunt? I don't know if I could do that. I don't know.
And I think that being in certain situations brings out something in you that is already there.
Mm,
So if you have a bit of a dark triad personality, if you have a little bit of darkness in you,
mm,
it's going to come out in that type of situation.
mm.
In how you look at the Stanford, if you look at Howard, is it Howardson? No, it's not Howardson. The Stanford experiment where they get the guys and some of them are guards and some of them are prisoners.
And then have you ever heard of that?
Mhm.
It was the college experiment at
The Stanford experiment.
and the funny. Well, let's just talk a little bit about it. Leave a comment below if you've heard of it. But basically, at Stanford University, they implemented a study where they had some students pretend to be
Guards.
guards at a
Mhm.
prison, and then they had some students who were prisoners in this prison. And then after a while, the guards started to get incredibly violent toward
To
the
the
prisoner
Mhm.
students, and so much so that actually, like the a lot of the requirements whenever you do research now
Is based on
is
that
based
study.
off of what happened in that
Uh-huh.
study, because
The
ethically
protocols.
ethically
and
people said that that study was completely unethical. And that's one of the
Mhm.
reasons, like when I was working on like my master's and all of that, when you chose your proposal and all of the kind of stuff that you was working on, you have to go through a ethics board to review your
Yeah.
proposal for
Mhm.
your experiment because of that. And and that was pretty, pretty crazy.
But I bring up
Let's
that's
see, we got a couple of things. Only if someone wanted me to do that for survival, right? If they, I guess, if they gave permission, Gothic Chick 4. And then Evelina said only if I needed to. Yeah, it would probably, and like I said, it's probably hard to put yourself in a situation like that when you're like right now, we're eating every day and we're fine.
right.
But if you was starving for months at a time, there was nothing to eat, shit could get pretty desperate. Yeah.
Right. And I bring up that study because a lot of that stuff was already in them.
Mm-hmm.
They were just put in a situation where they could act on it.
Yes.
Right. So I wanted to ask about who do you think makes it out alive? Okay, so we've already seen we know the main girls who have made it out. We've got
Mhm.
Shauna, Thaisa, Misty, we had Natalie, and we also the second season we got Lottie Matthews and Van. And so now I'm wondering because Hilary Swank is supposed to play a character, and there's a lot of speculation that she might play Melissa, the
Mhm.
girl Shauna kissed in the last episode.
Mhm.
So I want to know, are we going to see, do you think we're going to see any more survivals? Like, is Coach Ben alive? Did he make it out? I want to know
Mm.
about Akila, the only the black, not the only black girl, but the black girl who's really got an affinity for the animals. What do you think?
You see, I'm still, like I said, because I binge watched everything, and things were happening so fast to me. I'm curious to know who all survived. I mean, they haven't told us yet how they were found, right?
No,
They
there's
I'm
some speculation out there, but
I'm incredibly curious to know how they were found. Number one. Number two, when did they sneak and have the conversation and create the pact of like we're not going to talk, right? Because if
Mhm.
they got found, how do you have that secret conversation to say, we're not going to talk? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I don't know which characters would survive. um I don't know. I would just be kind of guessing. I would wonder, I would assume that the coach is not going to survive, because I seriously doubt the coach would go along with the story of like
Right.
the bullshit ass
I was
story
I
of like I'm gonna
exactly
hide.
because he didn't eat anybody. He didn't
Exactly.
get into any of that. So I don't think that he survived. Guys, tell me in the comments. Do you think Coach Ben
Oh,
survived?
great question.
Mhm.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Do y'all think Coach Ben survived? Great question, Evelina. She said, "Do you think they ever found out about Misty pulling that thing in season one?" And I'm
Before
assuming she's talking about
the black
the
box.
black box. Yes.
I was thinking no up until they didn't invite Misty to not Van, Natalie's funeral. Remember they were at the restaurant and they were like, Thaisa, why did you tell her, Misty, about the whatchamacallit, the thing, and she's like, no.
Hmm.
I think they found out Misty because even in season 1, in the very first episode, Natalie was like, hello, Misty, you crazy bitch. Everybody knows Misty is insane.
Hmm.
Something is off with her, right? Outside of like outside of Thaisa sleepwalking and Shauna going through her grief and all that other stuff. I think they found out. I don't know how they found out because Crystal is dead. So I'm not sure, but I think that I think so. I think they found out
Found out what?
that Misty destroyed the black box.
You think the girls found out?
Yeah.
The I don't know if people are gonna find the only reason I would say I think that they don't know, because I know one thing, I couldn't be cool with you or ever talk to you again.
I think they
And
would.
she's
I think they.
communicating.
I think they found out after they got rescued.
But if I found out that you did that and you put us in an unnecessary, you basically put us in a situation that did not have to occur. I don't have nothing to say to you if I find out that you did that and you put us in that. Basically, your
2
actions
years.
put us in this precarious situation for all of these years. I have nothing to say to you. No matter when I find out, I can find out on my deathbed. I can find out on the toilet. I can find out in the wilderness, and I am not going to have anything to do with you. Really, I know that she ain't telling people because I would have been like, all right, we eating her next. Like, and I wouldn't have felt bad at all for eating her because you did what you did.
Ate that bitch first.
Yeah, you getting ate, bitch, for doing that. And let's get a focus, please. Said they're gonna kill Akilah,
and I'm gonna cry.
And I'm gonna cry, not my little forest princess.
Oh my god. I'm hoping, I was really hoping that adult Akilah made it, only because I think Erica Alexander would have been perfect to play her adult Akilah. You ever seen Living Single, Max? That's who Erica Alexander is. And I was hoping that, but yeah, I got that feeling too, because Coach 100% would have told on
Focus,
yeah, I don't think Coach is alive.
Yeah, I mean, but how do you think that they find him and kill him? Probably.
Mm-hmm. There's some speculation out there that they have like some type of trial for Coach Ben, because because he has Mari. Does he let Mari go?
Yeah.
Does he let her go? Right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah.
What's up, Isaiah? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I mean, I think Coach would definitely tell. So I think that they're gonna find, because one of them already said that they feel like he's out there. But I mean, what do you think is gonna happen with the girl that he captured in the pit? What do you think he's gonna do with her?
I think he's gonna let her go.
And then she's gonna snitch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think is gonna happen?
Because Mari told him, like, she's like, you're not better than us just because you didn't, partake. She has this thing about following in the group, doing what the group does.
Yeah.
And when you do some dirt, this is very 50 laws of power. I mean, 48 laws of power. But when you do some dirt, some crazy stuff, everybody has to do it. There can't be just one person to be like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the high ground. No, everybody has to do it, because everybody needs, that's collateral. That makes sure that you don't say anything, right?
Or do this shit by yourself.
Oh, right.
I was always taught, if you're gonna do some dirty shit, you do it by yourself, because everybody gonna get the whistling and snitching and stuff once things go bad.
Yeah. But there's too many people, right? There's too many people.
Now that I think about it, because don't they eventually use that pit to like kill somebody with spikes?
Pit girl. So that's the thing. That's why I said I think Mari goes back, and then that's the biggest mystery. Who is Pit Girl? Right? And I think that they get rescued in the wintertime, and Pit Girl happens in the wintertime, right? So I'm wondering, okay, let me go back. We saw in episode 1 and 2, right? They're in, I don't know if it's spring or summer or fall, and they're living the good life.
They got nice tents.
They're living their camp counselor best life, right? They've got the animals, the rabbits. Other girl, she's coming with the pheasant, she's got the gun, and they're just living life, right?
Yeah.
And they're raising animals, they're hunting, they're preserving meat, they've got these shelters. How do we get from there to going back to the first season where they're hunting people again?
I don't know. Like, cause I
How
was
did
thinking
they
the same.
get
Cause once you got animals and you're growing them, if
right?
you take care of them, you should always have something. Especially rabbits. Rabbits reproduce like crazy.
Hmm.
Um, and like I'm getting ready to work on another documentary about homesteading, but and I've been doing just research for it. There's a couple animals that a lot of people use, and they said they don't take up a lot of space and they create lots of meat. Rabbits and quail, and rabbits because they reproduce so quickly.
Hmm. They
Uh,
had rabbits.
they have rabbits,
Uh-huh.
but
And
why
the
would
girl
you
had a
run out of
quail.
food
The
when
girl had a
they
quail
produce?
when she was coming. She had a quail.
Yes, because
Right.
and they quail at 6 weeks they're adult and they can eat and they reproduce. They have eggs, and then also like I said with the rabbits, the other thing too is the rabbits and their feces is great for fertilizer. If they have built nice stable housing and stuff like that, wouldn't they always be able to maybe reproduce the rabbits and be okay? And why would you get to that point of being desperate unless maybe there's something happens that we don't know? Did somebody
Yeah.
burn down the tents? Did somebody wild out and burn down the town and it messes up their food? Or I don't know.
I don't know. I don't, because something major has had to happen for them to be okay with those animals, to them going back to hunting each other again, right? Speaking of the burning down shelters, who do we think burned down the cabin?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us,
And then
guys.
we
What
got
do
a
you think?
question.
Mhm.
I had to leave, but I don't know if you talked about it, but do you think they ever found out about Misty?
I think they found out after they got rescued. I think they find out after she gets rescued.
And then Isaiah said, I think the group would kill Pit Girl.
Yeah, they did kill her because
Uh-huh.
they caught her. Remember they strung her up by her feet, and
Yeah.
then the butcher, which is Shauna, slit her throat to bleed her out.
Yeah.
You don't remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone asked, are we gonna play the video episodes? We can't play the video. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know why. Like it's weird. We got some of our videos, we put them up and they were acceptable and they were great. And then like months later, we get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what's okay to post and what not, because like to me, a lot of stuff that we're doing is like fair use. So we won't be playing videos and stuff like that because we don't want to get a copyright strike. So we're rounding out at about the 30-minute mark. Guys, leave a question. What are some questions you have about the show, or what are some things that you are enjoying the most about the show thus far with the show? And then the other thing is with tomorrow we're going live as well, and we're going to have a group panel talking about Captain America. I think you guys will like that. We're going to have a group panel discussing the film. But do you have any other like super burning questions or anything like that before because we're at the and then audience, leave a question below if you have a burning question for us or what you're wanting to see in the next episode.
So in the next episode, I'm hoping that they jump time a little bit and we get to the nitty-gritty of why they are hunting each other again. That's what I'm really caring about, what's going on while they're in the wilderness. And I kind of also want to know what happened after they got rescued, like their lives. We know that Lottie went to a mental institution, but what happened with their life? One big question is Walter, Misty's boyfriend, Walter. Does he have good intentions? And I'm teetering between yes and no. So that's one thing that I want to try to see.
I like that. I like that. And then Isaiah said, what do you think is going to happen what do you think is going on with the trees and the boy? And we were talking about that a little bit earlier about whether it's supernatural a little bit. I think that there might be and the boy is that thing that keeps appearing, right? Because there's something
the man with
weird.
no eyes.
Yeah. I'm assuming, Isaiah, is that what you mean? We say the boy. I think that I think that there could be some type of supernatural thing to it, but then also, like I said, I think that they're looking for any reason to create some type of outside entity so that what they're doing, they don't have to take on the burden and owning the fact that they're doing the things that they're doing. It would be interesting to see if it is some type of supernatural force, that's going on. And he said, yes, he's talking about the boy with no eyes, or the thing with no eyes.
Yeah, I think he shows up every time the other Ty shows up.
Yeah.
And also I'll say this too. I think Thais is the other Ty is the one who burned down the cabin. I think she did it when she was asleep.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, I don't want to say Van knows, but like, yeah, I definitely think she did it. Because remember when she walked into that church and she was trying to light a candle for everybody and she just like threw the match in there? I think yeah. So that's who I think burned down the cabin.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm enjoying the show. It's a different kind of show. Because we really started our channel because we were going hard with the series From. And then, we really enjoyed
Dance of the Dragons,
House of the
House of the
Dragons, and then
it's hard to find a show that we
both
that we want to talk about. We talked about Silo, which we loved. I'm actually getting into Severance.
Yeah,
I'm starting to like it. And I've been watching Mayfair, which is terrible. It is so bad. And which is sad because Interview with the Vampire is so fucking good. So, but anyway, so yeah, I can't wait to talk to you guys about Captain America tomorrow.
What was that other show that we watched on Netflix that we really liked?
American Primeval?
Yes, that shit was good. Did anybody in the comment section, did anybody see American Primeval?
Yeah. Because I mean, we love stuff like that. Because one of our favorite movies is 3:10 to Yuma. That's one of our favorite movies.
I love that damn movie.
We love a good Western, The Hateful Eight. I mean, we love a good Western. And so that right there, it was like, what, 6 episodes of just like,
that shit.
I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I kind of wish I could just watch it all over again and not even.
I wouldn't mind watching it again. I wanted to do a video on it, but we were kind of just wrapped up and busy.
We still can.
It was that good.
We also, for Black History, we watched Pride with Terrence Howard about the swim team, the Black swim team, and son swims. So but yeah, we're back on it, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna try to be more
consistent now. Things have calmed down a little bit with swimming.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then check us out tomorrow on our live tomorrow, because we're gonna have a guest panel. We're gonna be discussing Captain America. Anybody here see Captain America?
You always gotta
leave a comment below if you watch the new Captain America. It was, I ain't gonna get too much into it, but we're gonna have our panel discussion tomorrow. We want to thank y'all for joining us as we discuss the show, man.
It was so great to see so many people coming into the live. I just knew, I was like, oh, there's just going to be us tonight, Patrick, during the live.
I love it when the people join us and, just chop it up with this. Because we love doing this, man. It's a lot of fun. And guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share. And join us tomorrow for our live as we'll be discussing Captain America. As always, we will catch you guys in the next video, because our watch has ended. Bye. You guys be safe out there. Peace. Take care.